Hello Blender folks, welcome back to this live streaming of rigging in Blender, organic rigging. We are making the mouth rig for this original character of mine, actually, sorry, here the file. So after many attempts we are starting to have interesting results on the cartoony deforms that we want. So of course there's an adaptation and there's lots of things to solve, and okay, so I'm not going to enter more in details, but we are attempting to make this very expressive rig for with bendy bones splines, right, like this. But there are other features here, yes there are. So my goal here is sort of experimental, but I'm trying to get the sort of cartoony rig with tons of possible 2D cartoon styles inspired expressions for the mouth, the lips, whatever, even so. And this is very hard to do in 3D, right? Like currently the way because of the mesh and everything, and because it's CG, it still looks like some sort of a more realistic thing or a 3D thing, right? But we want to get it more yeah. So for example, we can use Pixar characters, right, 3D characters, so of course that as a reference. Here the expressions are very sophisticated in 3D. They are cartoony. They have some fashion of 2D cartoon drawings, right? But of course they are widely adapted to 3D, so it's a new creation, right? And because my original style is more like anime cartoon, is very stylized also. We don't see the character design right now, the model sheets, but the 3D, plain 3D stuff, shapes, too organic like shapes, I don't know how to express the idea, but we don't want to make this look very realistic. On the opposite, we want to make a 3D adaptation in which this quasi is 2D. This of course is my first attempt on mouth rigging complex shapes, so it's probably going to fail. But so one idea here was to obtain stretching with bendy bones of the teeth mesh itself. And so not totally successful here. There are some crazy deforms, but it's kinda so at least we've made here a top jaw and bottom jaw thing, so it is working, and it is stretching as the bones, and there are some mechanisms here that we can tilt like so, but it's starting to make sense, right? But there are many things that require more investigations. So yeah, well, okay. And this mouth shape, just in case you are wondering, there is this idea that if the starting position, the rest position for the mesh is, for example, an O shape or something more circular than, for example, a closed mouth or tiny mouth, there's this idea that perhaps this shape will not be good enough for, in terms of deforms, right? The rest position is very important for how the skinning algorithms will calculate the deforms, and then the output deforms calculate the transforms, right, for the vertices, and then the mesh. And then the deforms and the mesh are will be limited to by the rest position. So if you have a rest position that is not like that is perhaps some sort of halfway between all the possible expressions for the cartoon character, then this could be the ideal rest position for the mouth, for the lips, according to the character design, the amount of expressions that we want to make, and yes. However, the counterpart of it is that depending, I think for the mouth rig it's not a big problem, but could be for legs or other stuff, arms. But yes, if the deform rig on rest position, if the if the rest position for the mesh implies that the bones have on the rest positions are unaligned in certain ways, it could make it way more complicated to solve the mechanisms. So it's good to have, it would be ideal if a rest position was aligned with like say word space bones and whatever regular orientations for bones, right? And so certainly this would not be the case for this widely open mouth. But there's another concept here to explore, is that there is, you know, this kiss shape for the lips, and this is something that we obtain perhaps with a morph with shape keys, right? Because it's a very different, would be very hard to solve this with armature deform, although it implies rolling, right, of the lips. And these, of course, since it's mesh rotation and it's skinning algorithms, these would probably cause lots of volume loss and artifacts, especially volume loss in that case, and it's difficult to control this. So I've attempted some features here. For example, let's see, where's the lips bones? I don't see right now where are my bones. Hold on. Okay, there they are. So let's forget about all that and let's just check our lip. Oh, this thing keeps annoying me. Okay, my screen is too small here. Alright, so for example, what are those things? Lip control. Okay, so these are older stuff, I guess. Yeah, perhaps older stuff. Doesn't matter. So these are functioning, but of course the wave painting is still not good enough. There's more wave paint. We're gonna do that right in a moment. So here, what I was considering. Oh yes, I wanna show. So the bendy bones, they have this maintained volume, which is driven by the roll of this bone here. So as I roll here, I could obtain sort of a, right, it's not good yet, but there's a way into this. So maybe, oh, maybe the volume loss is a lot. We can assess volume loss. Okay, you see the volume loss? It's terrible, right? So we can't afford this. But however, the idea was that if this is not very good for a kiss shape for the rest position, but if it takes a lot of time to solve this stuff, right, create a new rest position. So that's why I'm not attempting right now. But we could, the idea here is to start already with a half kiss rest position, so it's not like complete. And then what we only have to do on a rest pose is to have these bones start on a rest pose in which they de-roll, right? They de-roll the lips. So this means, imagine this character was kissing right here with that. I don't know another expression, but for the lips shape that I mean, but yeah, kiss shape, but not totally, like not totally, just halfway. Here would be sort of perhaps 25% on the way of a kiss pose, maybe more for the top here because it's a bit more exaggerated than here. But imagine it was 50%, right? Actually, on this direction, and this okay, and this. Then what we do is that this will be the rest position. But then what we do, we de-roll these bones, and whatever direction they rotate, even more rotation or less rotation, it would not destroy the mesh so much, because we don't have to reach like 90 degrees or more degrees rotation. Just because it was already starting a halfway, we just have like about half of 90 degrees would be like 45 degrees inwards, 45 degree outwards, and then either we reach the full shape of the exaggerated expressions of the kiss shape, or on the opposite way, we neutralize the kiss shape and hopefully we'd achieve a normal lips, a more relaxed pose for the lips, right? So this is my plan for this, but here it's not good enough. Actually, there's no reason why I don't try this now that the mesh, at least now that the mesh of the lips is well organized. So let's try to start by this crazy attempt of experimentation. The setup here for the maintain volume is already set, so the idea is that even tiny rotations already should be able to cause volume loss. So this is 90 degrees rotation roll, right? But already 45 is a loss, but it's not a lot, and we can compensate this artifact by maybe increasing the power of this maintain volume. Yeah, perhaps. Actually, this doesn't maintain volume exactly. What it does, it's, well, yeah, but it's difficult to use this on organic rigging in an excellent way, because it's just bold stuff, right, affecting all the mesh. So it's at least myself, I don't think this is incredibly precise in the deforms output, but it helps. So okay, so if you have volume loss, then maintain volume counters, right? So this is a good thing. I've seen this actually from a rigger that is very inspiring. Yeah, let's showcase his work here quickly. Philo Vivero, this guy here, so he's a rigger, and his models are really good. He has a site, okay, you can find here, and yeah, I'm in one of his, I'm in his Discord channel, but there are lots of riggers there, and people share ideas, and so he has those lots of tutorials already, and or videos that show how some stuff about his, and he sells these models also on page. So hand rigging, fingers rigging, there are many solutions for there and tutorials out there. And one idea for the lost volume is counteracting with how to say these, and if I'm not wrong, I got this idea with Philo Vivier. So very good rigger for those realistic cartoony characters, right? So just showing that yes, we learn tips from here, from there, we experiment. Yes, it's always good to tell a story about how we learn stuff, right? Because humans, yeah, we never create things from nothing. There's always something or someone before, that comes before, right? There's always a before, right? And this is true for history of science, history of arts, history of philosophy, history of whatever we want. It's so always good to mention if we could track down, it's fair, right? And so I cannot tell everything that where did I took any idea here. Of course, this doesn't mean invention, creativity doesn't exist, but as Einstein say, right? Einstein, not only a science, a very wise man, wise person. He, in my opinion, he said, as he said, I only was able to make. There's a quote. I was only able to do what I did because I am I exist onto the, I'm leveraged by the shoulders of giants, the scientists and the communities, scientific communities and whatever else that came before him. And yeah, so it's very good to keep this idea on, I think, because in our world, narcissism, egocentrism, individualism, and the bad sense, narcissism is extreme, and it's very easy to think of oneself as a super person and nothing else matters and whatever. You got the idea, I hope. So here the expressions are more like a caricatural mask than the cartoony stuff that I intend, but this is okay because we're still gonna investigate. I'm still not sure how I'm gonna turn this more cartoony, but for now, certainly let's go back to the thing. So this maintain volume thing, I believe will help. We can tweak here in the edit driver, maybe augment, but not the problem right now. So the problem right now is that I'm going to do this proof of concept. Well, for me it's no more a proof of concept. I mean, it is for this particular case of the mouth lips rig, and I know it works for other things, otherwise I wouldn't have this character on this rest position for the legs and the arms. These arms just actually I did it for here, but I'm considering now a new rest position for these eyelids, maybe not half closed exactly in the middle, but I was having a difficult time closing her eyes. So maybe if I made a sort of 30% or maybe 40% eyes closed rest position for the eyelids mesh and the eyelashes, I would have a much easier time closing her eyes easily without relying on a pose asset, but we will have pose assets, always good. For all the expressions that are required, the main ones, could be a lot, and then, but at the same time we will have the benefit of some degree of collapsing of the eyelids mesh on here. So I've just made this approach here so to have a better collapsing here. Otherwise this won't collapse, this would be pushed into the head. We would never see it happening in animation, but because we don't see the wireframe, but it will happen nonetheless, and this is annoyed me to death. And then I can just change the rest position, right, for the eyelids, the eyelash, and that worked. But then on the on the bad side, before the eyes start closed, so I have a perfect mesh for starting, and then however, but then I have the terrible collapsing system. Would need to adapt this in other ways, so I decided to solve the collapsing like that. Now it's nearly all collapsed, but then hard time closing, so the other extreme. So maybe something in between, yeah, not 50%, I don't know exactly. For the also realize it's important regarding this character design, but if I do that, I'll have to reassess all the retakes on the eyelash rig, which was quite dramatical last time. So I'm not doing this very soon, I think. What is this? I think I've got loose mesh here. Okay, we're going to... what's that? Looks like extra mesh. Okay, let's just collapse at last, right? Maybe I duplicated accidentally. Never mind. Okay, solve that. Let's go back here, and because we are going to retake the rest position, we for what is our proof of concept, I'm gonna make a retake backup here and call new. Now kiss shape, right? Okay, half kiss shape. Half kiss lips. That's it. Okay, so that I know that this will be the beginning of this retake here. So I thought I was doing it here, but then as we see, it's not good enough. We need to exaggerate the kiss shape, and this will be a bit complicated because okay, it's so, but I have a plan, don't worry. Okay, no, actually, hold on, I have a better way to do this. We have a melt region vertex group just for hiding. So let's organize something here. Right, already organized. Then I also am going to just, okay, the lips start here. We will use until, perhaps until this vertex. Yeah, that's fine. And then we hide everything else outside. And then we can also hide some stuff inside. You see the lips are organized. We have two face loops outside, two face loops inside, and two face loops in the middle. So that's why we have those different colors. We're going to, why not? Let's make some smooth of this mesh since we are here, and then this starts curving. Yes. This mesh topology, yes, it's complicated. This is temporary, so what we're going to do is just pick this, and we are going to, okay, hide this, then we hide all the rest, but not select link. Let's actually just do something. I select all this, no, okay, normals, select that, invert selection, and hide everything there. There we go. So this is where we have freedom to work on this. And also let's hide the armature. There we go, armature object. And okay, so now we are okay. There's another problem. It's hard to work without looking at the actual mesh, right? Of the face. Not impossible, but it's a bit annoying. But yeah, and if we go on wave paint mode, you see this is what I would like. Is there a way to do that? That would be perfect, right? If I could edit the mesh and see the wireframe of protection. Protect mesh on edit mode. Yes, this is a feature that Blender lacks. We cannot lock vertices in place on edit mode. And the object modifiers don't affect edit mode. Let's check mask. Mesh mask for, okay, Blender mesh mask for, maybe there's a way. Edit mode. Masking in edit mode. I think a masking tool in edit mode. Okay, this is a right click selected point. Let's upvote. Sometimes you need to move vertices using proportional but without affecting certain values. So maybe there should be a masking feature to freeze those vertices, just like in Sculpt Node and just like in Vertex wave paint mode, perhaps vertex paint mode also, and the vertices masked out should be darker. I know what you're thinking. You can hide the vertices. That's exactly what we know. Don't want to be moved, but what if you want to see them even if you don't want to move them, just for reference? I think a masking tool in edit mode is a great. Do you have any comments? There are some people commenting. As a reader, okay, not reading this is a live stream. Okay, then hide only vertices. This is a project, probably a selling. Hi, is this have to pass the times feature? It's the same, right? And that's very useful. Okay, didn't know this. It's for selling. It's very cheap. Okay, it's so cheap. I would buy. Let's see how it works. Ah, yes. Okay, this guy deserves this. even more, right? This is very hide only version, really good because he makes a very good add-on and makes a very good price, right, for people. Okay, I think that I could buy this thing. Not right now, I need to check, but some features auto buy online. But here, yes, this is good thing. I'm going to save this here. Hide only vertex is the name of it. Worth it. I didn't know this exists. Great thing. So let's do like, because the price is good. The add-on is good, right? But the price is good. And upvote also because this is a great topic and a good proposition for inbuilt Blender thing for the future. For now, let have this add-on sell. All right, now let's go back here. I don't have the add-on yet, and I don't know when I will get it, but probably a lifesaver, right? This would be what we would require. But I have another idea, because we have ideas. I can, although I'm afraid this will be dangerous. Let's do something like, okay. I know a workaround here. I'm going to pick this melt region and I'm going to make this selection. I don't want the melt region interior. I'll pick this, I'll duplicate that mesh, I will separate by selection, and I'll have a mesh object that is a duplicate of that mesh, however that has all the properties of that mesh object, right? Except that we're going to, I must make sure I'm in the right one. Okay, here it is. So we're going to first change all the materials so you don't get confused. I'll paint it into I don't know about this color here. Now this is bad. Let's see, this will confuse the lips. Could be that. Okay, then we hide this for now. We going here and we're going to protect. Okay, made the same thing for the lips, right? Oh, what I'm doing, that I'm being I'm forgetting about. Incredible. Okay, just select more operator, and that's it. Let's enable screencast. What I did, I just numpad control numpad positive plus, right? And there we go. That is what I need to hide. All right, okay, but then what you just hidden the, yes, but then all right folks, so there we go. Here is our paint mask stuff for free, but yeah, that feature in the add-on would be really helpful, right? Then we just delete this thing after. So let's get okay, this will be dangerous because you're going to destroy the mesh. Actually, hold on, I believe, okay, this is even, this actually is sorry, this is actually a good thing, because as you can see, I can compare with the original. Never, that should be something that an add-on like that one should add, right? Have a history of the original unprotected mesh. Okay, but okay, enough said. We need to, okay, and also I think, mirror modifier on. Alright, yes, we need also here. Okay, no need there. It's just for I think I've lost my selection or not. No, that's fine. Alright, so I'm working on the original mesh. Alright, so that's it. And then we can compare here. This is a great workflow, folks. Actually, this could worth a tutorial, right? Should take note of this. Okay, so we need to use the proportional editing. It's already set, but I believe no. Okay, so we are going to exaggerate a little bit on this case shape, because last time we tried to exaggerate a little and for some reason didn't. We end up near with our hands open, so without. Okay, so there's maybe a better way to solve that. So if I get some sort of okay, center of mass, not working. I see there is being displaced mesh there. Okay, just solve that. Why does it goes there? It is sort of crazy. It doesn't recognize the center of world space geometry. Maybe it's that. Yes, this is bizarre, but okay, let's this is not absolutely important, but what you can do in this case, just bring here tool, not tool, view, where's the 3D cursor, let's get a 0 here, there we go. That's now with this we can pick this. We are on proportional editing. Okay, those are the central ones, right? So let's pick them both and let's see if we can have some sort of roll individual, maybe. Yes, it's difficult. Individual origins. It's not like. Yeah, it's difficult to know what is the right thing to do. So it will be easier if we pick like this and just do that, right? It will be a good idea. So let's pick the per material. So seam. Actually, yeah, I have the seams. So why it does this? Okay, now it's fine. Now I'm trying to roll this using 3D cursor. Yeah, it doesn't work. So I think I'm confusing with the idea of, you know, scaling. We cannot roll them like the way I want it to, what I've been doing. Oh, I got an idea. Yeah, let's put the 3D cursor like in a place like inside, except that it's not working. Let's place it here and let's try to pull it to the here. Alright, so somewhere like here, let's bring it. Yeah, it's somewhere here. Alright, then now this should work if we pick the seam, but I don't want. Okay, except for, yeah, this is difficult. Like, okay, let's do a selection like this, then this. We are, oh, proportional editing, right? This perhaps is what's making this worse. Alright, let's try this and this with okay, let's try this with proportional editing first. The cursor is still there, so we're gonna roll this using cursor. Yes, that's it, but let's take off the proportional editing. Yeah, it's better with proportional editing, but it's too large, so let's do it. Yeah, then there's some. Alright, however, does this help in the shapes? Yes, yeah, except that there are some deformations, but that's okay. We're going to assess this later. Now the problem with this method is that we need to reassess this for each, at least for, yeah. Let's try to put the cursor here, but it's too. So this is like a wormhole. I mean, it's just a tube, right, of mesh. And then we can do this. Now let's put this. Hold on. The cursor do not respond to Control Z. Good position. All right. Then same thing here. We need to make a selection already from all that. Let's bring it there, this and this, and there we go. Now we can already start rolling, and of course here is not. Okay, so it's not that easy, but we got. Proportional editing should help us now to fix those parts of the mesh, right? Okay, let's. I think this is enough for the method. It's not that simple. It worked well for the bottom because the bottom part is more regular, so it was much easier. But it's still not the shape. Didn't get very well at the end, so we need to reassess some parts here, and then the mesh behind is a bit in the way, so maybe if I could, yeah, okay, I have an idea. Hold on. Wireframe, wire, so another visibility thing to help us. Aha, so don't I have, now this is still inner lips, though that's okay, so that's fine. Much better now, although that mesh we get confused, right, because it's same color both, but that's fine. Let's continue here solving this. I think I should smooth everything first. Alright, then here we see that we have excessive. This is too close there, and what about this one? Yeah. This probably without, let's reduce here, so this will reorganize the mesh. Here, this should expand probably, this should expand. I hope this doesn't break. Seems to be working regularly. The lips now here, yeah, the top lip is very bad. Yeah, we see that this makes little sense here. Yeah, okay, this so we don't have the lip thing here, the cursor to help us right now, but we could use it in a limited way perhaps. Alright, so we see that, yeah, very bad shape. It's not nearly looking that we have the... So maybe I should start with some exaggerated shape, right? And then... Okay, let's get this. So a lot is about this. It needs to go like that. Yeah, this feels more... This seems more likely. And then this makes that changes here are just like here. Can also certainly rotate that there. And this part without visual reference is a bit difficult for me right now to assess, but I think we are in the right direction. Yes, you see that this mesh actually is very important for this, and this is actually, this should protrude more, right? Otherwise it makes no sense. So this like go inwards, right? And of course it matters, let's try to... Of course it matters how the line continues, right? Should have a curve, so this is curving inwards, so that's okay. Then this one we can reshape. The side ones can really be very small, so this is not, this side here can, it's really not very relevant, I think. Reorganize, now it start to grow, it's good. Then the top lip is not as massive as the bottom lip in general, so here of course it's probably wrong. We need to... Yes, so this shape probably should go protrude. I see maybe more stuff like that. Yes, now it's getting good. So it's not only about the... Okay, let's do this. Now I think it's easier to... No, it will always be hard to make this this roll here. Yeah, very difficult to get the cursor. Let's see if I had some vertex, right, to reorient this thing, like cursor go here. Yeah, like cursor go here. So yeah, this kind of should be pointing up, right? This thing is important that it, so it's really about this exaggeration here. Here too, why not? So, and then that part also protrudes, but then I think it's the last one that should protrude, because after this it starts to become go back again. So this will, I expect, would allow the rolling of the lips to be correct for the shape that we are trying to do. So let's see here. Yeah, this starts to get smaller shapes here. This is not important. Smaller faces here in the corner. I don't really know. Yeah, this is probably always just very reduced, so currently this will be hard to solve without some sort of minimal proportional editing should help. So you can do this and make some adjustments like locally, but without too much disruption elsewhere. Yeah, so and of course we can always smooth. So here let's keep these small faces here. Then here it could be even smaller, right? Okay, now it starts to grow. Alright, this looks good. This is starting to look good. Maybe a bit more exaggeration here, even. Maybe we could get this like remembering this is not exactly a kiss shape. This is would be sort of a half kiss shape. We are very far from the great result, but we don't need to be perfect, because this can be this pose don't need to be an expressive pose. The goal of this pose is not to be an expressive pose, but to be some sort of middle term pose between useful poses. So even if this pose looks very bad, very strange, right? If it helps the deforms later on, and actually later on we can already assess by attempting to deform our rig with even the lips rig, so that would be a good output, good this will mean that this is working, would be already working, right? So it's not about how good the expression is here. It could be a trap if we think that however, of course, if the expression is also good here, it would still not mean that guaranteed as this strategy is intelligent or is a good one, I mean. But if the expression here is good, okay, we get a good expression for granted, right? It's already it already is interesting. So this is why I'm trying to get this good as an expression also. So it's not just a generic shape, but we could already be having good deforms for what we want from this, I believe. Even if the shapes are questionable, the morph is questionable. So here I'm a bit in doubt about this part here, but I believe this is a good approach. This, so start like already the lips start making this curve, and then it then curves out even more on this and this. Yeah, so could protrude this even more smooth. Alright, and then this, yeah, this is a good way to work. Then this face loop here we can protrude even more, especially in the top. It's not very interesting right now, so also because of the shapes here, they are not very interesting. But in general, I think here the top could benefit from a few tweaks here, maybe get this like this, right? Maybe some roll like that, some rotation, like tilting everything. Okay, it must be very funny thing, but look, that fish, right? This is utilitarian, folks. If this works for better deforms, then why do we care about having our character have this expression in a live stream? So alright, so yeah, maybe this was too much, and the shapes here are also a bit deformed, so let's try to, yeah, we can do something here which makes not a lot of sense perhaps, but yeah, this is, we can make this, even if this is very unlikely, right? If we make, and why the kiss shape? Why I have the because in my opinion, for all the mount rigs possible, the kiss shape is apparently the only one that I can record easily. That is should be very hard to obtain good results only through armature deform. So it's really the most morphed shape for the mouth. Maybe I'm wrong, but if it's not the most, it's one of the most. It's just, you can't get this shape well without a very specific approach, like custom shape. And I've seen the morphs from other rigs that try to use armature deform. Okay, they are, how do you say, convincing that okay, we can, armature deform works. Okay, so it's fine. But if you compare with some other, I'm not saying it's not, there's nothing good out there with armature deform. There are, but sometimes it looks a bit flattened out and not good enough. That's it, right? It doesn't convince. No, this is certainly not the maximum we can do. There's something more. There's lacking few things, and even though my work is more cartoony, on 3D, on CG, this is a shape that really is relevant, right? So I believe we can explore this by solving it through a good rest position. would make it easier. Okay, so now oh yeah, okay, we can have here, let's see, what about this? Oops, no, what about this here? Yeah, the shapes here are okay. Let's attempt some more generic transforms, right? Because I think we are nearly finished here with this rest position changing attempt. Yeah, we can smooth out this part, right? So it will be how to say, reduced. Also rescale. Oh, rescaling is better than smoothing. Yeah. So here we can scale up. Here we can also perhaps scale up. Here we can scale up a little. Here we can scale down. Here we can scale down. I think here we can scale down. Here smooth. Losing some organization there. This is bad. And perhaps let's see if we can redistribute some mesh here. Yeah, here very disorganized. So kind of lose certain features there. Okay, here of course I'm trying to make this complicated shape there. Yeah, now it's too bad here. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. No. Right, so you see that the mesh geometry there at that corner, maybe it requires more geometry there, right? So, what if we reorganize this just a little to, yeah, I think that was one of the problems. Oh yes, that was one of the problems. You see how much there's concentration there, okay, because it's a joint area that is very complicated, but then the redistribution here was very bad. Here we can try to derotate this, and yeah, too much rotation there, questionable rotations. Here we can, alright, the shapes are a bit strange. Also these faces are, they look horrible, right? Let's try to, this shape seems a bit too high, right? And also this is because these faces here are also a bit too elongated, so let's reduce that. Just slightly move like that. Let's see now. No, now we've lost some of its shapes. Let's try this. Yeah, maybe this should indeed come here. No, still not good. This bulge is not like that. It's more. Okay, so this is incredibly hard, in my opinion. It's not like also a shape that I draw a lot, and so I'm a bit confused about how to do it. I need some reference, right? Yeah, it's a good time for reference, but let's see. I had a good shape at some point, I just start losing it. It's not that now it's horrible, but it's just not good enough. Yeah, maybe I forgot those. Yeah, maybe it's just this. Just got this thing wrong. And that's think this. Now let's get this thing here, and yeah, here too much volume here on the bottom. Let's use proportional editing. Actually, no, we need. Alright, here why not? Let's take a bit. Okay, a bit better now, but now you see that I've totally lost some aspect of the piece shape in the bottom. It's very like rounded here, very bad. It was better before. I think the smoothing out was disruptive to this, so maybe it's just a question of solving some stuff here. Okay, slightly better. Let's see. Starting to get better, yes, but then this is more outward, right? There's something. Is that plausible? Yeah, this is plausible. This can be sort of expressive. Maybe a bit too far here, and here also doesn't need to be like that. Of course, there's also the question that mouths are also they can be different, vary. So yeah, it's cool to explore some shapes here, some variations. Maybe I'm just making these things too simple, and this is why references will be great at this point. We'll retake this other times. Okay, this is interesting. So it's not so much about, because the way I'm working with low poly here, medium poly, it's not so much about the mesh being smooth, right? Sometimes it's just good shape, you see. So this is perfect. This is perfect. Best shape on the bottom here. I've got one of the best with by this crazy tweaking. This is why I didn't give up on that part, but it's not good here. So let's try a bit more stuff here. So perhaps doing something like that, and here, let's see. Yeah, so shouldn't consider, yeah, never mind smoothness of the vertices of the, who cares about that? Important is the subdivided face in the end. So here, yeah, you see, just get some cool variations, and then we can start getting interesting. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Here, pull that back. All right, so this. So there's a range in proportional editing, this selector there, where it starts to be good for the kind of deformation. So now I've just found like the ideal zoom, the ideal. Yeah, so now things are start to come out more smoothly, even though yes, the challenge is still there, right? So yeah, so these things is still gonna be complicated. That part probably the most complicated one, even now that I found some solutions. So I have this idea that perhaps this we push them something like that, like crazy. We can also do the same here, but in some slightly different orientations. And then we, of course, let's try to, so I push that inside and it goes outside, and then yeah, this more outside, and then yeah, and then something, oh, of course something is missing, certainly something is missing, is that this mesh was, look at the alignment of this, completely collapsed inwards, like useless. It didn't follow up the right what we were working with. So let's try here, and yeah, here we can perhaps smooth this. Okay, no. Here at the bottom we got it good. It's just perhaps here that we need to, yeah, around here to here. So let's smooth this out, maybe reduce, get it inside. Okay, so this is the bold part, and then we also pick here, and let's get until there and get some smoothing and get some scaling and all that. And okay, so this starts to move forward, got some you see those tweaks are very interesting as we develop. So what about, yeah, so this is not pointing that, so this is interesting. Maybe we got something like that here. However, we need to pay attention to, okay, and that is probably bad, that should, like this face are more like, and same here, we got some really badly rotated stuff, and I think suffering here from the mirror modifier. I think I've lost something there. No, nothing was lost. Alright, so then here, yeah, this is more to the bottom, so this could be more regular. Let's see now. Alright, we are, and you see this means that the lip was really rotated, right? So, but this is already maybe too much, because yeah, so because this actually should continue, yeah, this here we need to smooth out and like bring it closer to the middle. It's too close to the inner side. It needs to work as a thickness for the, yeah, so let's do this, then we can pick this other, and so let's now smooth this out. Here smooth slightly, here could smooth also, and here why not slightly, and there we go. I think now, although it's, I do some retake still, yeah, forever retaking this thing, but here it really looks like that we are achieving the said expression, right? Alright, those shapes are much better now, and let's see how this, okay, then the remember we have a body here that we are just going to hide. This is the next, so So what about this for rest position? We see a half kiss shape, right, nearly forming. There is no guarantee this will make any deforms better for the mouth, but in principle all this variety of shapes are already cool, because whatever shape I create from this rest position, this will already have all these qualities on. The question now is, well, many questions arise, right? So one question is what happens. So first question, right, we'll try to answer immediately. First question is hold on, let me fix some stuff here. Duplicate face. Okay, why the face is there? Okay, let's put it above the hair. Okay, I don't want to show this now. So first question, why? No, sorry. First question it's not about the deforms, simply deforms. This we don't know, it doesn't matter for me right now. Not cursed, because we need to solve other things, so this is not the big deal. So the first thing is the roll of the lips. Let's see if this half roll helps in. Okay, so there is some problem first. No, I cannot answer that right now, because we need to assess the mesh that got there and probably there. Just smooth out those stuff. So mouth in, so lips, mouth interior region. Alright, we pick that, and let's pick a few faces here. There we go. So with this we can already begin to figure out that we should probably be smoothing out these faces. And okay, we cannot select this properly, we should remake this at some point, but we can smooth those verses with these two selections. So this should be enough for the inner part, I hope. Then for the external part, probably smoothing out this should help. Yes, so smooth this. Actually smoothed a lot, and here it's still bad, so let's perhaps attempt here also some smoothing. Okay, we've lost some stuff there, but that's okay. Then here we can probably just make some generic transforms, right? Yes, I've made this face loop here in blue so that, okay, I want to investigate this thing. Oh, this loop is not good. Alright, we have to, that mesh topology is getting me crazy. Alright, we don't want this thing. It's too irregular. I'm pissed off with that. No more of that. I'm tired of this thing. So let's get this fixed at once. So probably to solve that, yeah, so take this off. Let's I'll have to hide everything there, of course, but we start with the gums. Let's pick this thing here, the tongue. Yes, there are be easy way, but I'm pissed off, and then so let's just hide that way I'm doing. So no more teeth, no more gums, no more that, just this. Okay, and here also the gums. Actually the gums could be relevant. Okay, so the questions that I knew I'd made those diamond quads there. I would like to unmake this at some point in the future. So alright, we need to know first about how many they are. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4, it's a lot. 5, 4. Yeah, this looks like one, you see. And well, no, this is not exactly the diamond quad. So 4, but it's still looping around in a, oh no, this is okay. So this is the first one. Yeah, it's 1. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so and they are concentrated in the bottom area. So at least I made this regular. So let's fix this by simply okay, I mean not simply, but let's start giving them a horrible color so that I will not forget them. They served their purpose, which was temporary to okay, so now the question is, where should I alright, so there is this thing here and we don't see the gum, so we'll fix things one per time. So first we do this subdivision, then we dissolve edge, then we okay, so this would be one fixed. We'll change this color for I don't know, lips for now. Then there is still some thing here, dissolve edge, then we got this face loop. Let's no, not proportional editing here, could be complicated. So this seems to be too much spread apart, so instead of making that going there, we're gonna make this connection here. Then here we can dissolve already, fix that part, right? Here we don't know where it goes, so we gonna accept creating a subdivision there, even though I don't know where it goes. Here let's not focus in, oh, I see. All right, I see. So I didn't see there was this, actually I didn't see there was this thing. So this means that we already have here the pair and we don't want this, so dissolve here. So this will grow in another direction, will go in another direction. Here it's clearly where we want it to go, because it's the closest, geometrically closest. And here, so we meet probably another diamond quad stuff, so start to develop here. Okay, so this we need to fix. So here, this is already taken. Then here, the idea is that this subdivision is wrong. So this goes to here or to a new one, right? But okay, then we know what's happening here. Dissolve that. Too many vertices, so it's here a critical point where there's just nothing to do except create more subdivisions. So okay, we reached that condition, and here we don't know exactly where this will go, but I don't know what is that, for example. So let's hope that, and then there's 2 more quests to solve, so diamond quests. So let's create here. So let's hope that this doesn't lead anywhere bad. Solve 2. anywhere irregular, but it will be a lot of luck if that was the case. So this start already going here. I think there's a better distribution of mesh also. Look at the size of this shape here. Certainly we'll need some subdivisions. Solving this diamond quad here is just dissolve here, and then solve that, dissolve that, then do this. Then here we also go here, here, and here, dissolve, and then lots of subdivisions, right? That face is really big, and now it will become a complete alright, so at least we've got this solved, all the quads solved. We can finally have this thing. So let's change the color of this. It will be like, yeah, that blue color, whatever. And then okay, so here, one of those places that forgot here. Alright, so that's good. I cannot kill the neutralize the subdivisions in this area, because well, it can, but then it's a too complicated region, and often yeah, so if it deforms bad there, it's over. It's very hard to smooth, and it's hard for wave paint, it's hard for everything, right? So let's not allow that the mesh topology there gets right, gets irregular, or and that region, right? So this is already the lips, right? So the inner lips, let's do that even blindly, and here let's smooth just this thing. Can approach them to the lips, then we can pick this and smooth this simultaneously, right? Because should be fine. And then here, are we following all the loops properly? Looks like yes, but we can also, even though there are subdivisions lacking, we can certainly make some. Okay, these, what about this kind of, yeah, this should be narrow, but it should be, yeah, yeah, so the idea here is should be very close to the lips, but at the same time smooth and narrow. Yeah, very close, and it's difficult, so let's try to scale it. Looking there, yeah, it's very hard to, its original shape is too irregular, so it's hard to get the way I want. So if I scale this up, scale like that, I don't see. Oh yeah, I can work from this, right? So let's scale these faces, and this yes, so this is the problem that we need to address next. So here, this is already the gum stuff, reaching for the gums, right? So here, yeah, so the subdivisions, this full of subdivisions, and this already not enough subdivisions. So we see here, all right, so let's try to develop here, right? Yeah, so it's exactly at the curve. Okay, not bad. So this is the area that requires something strange happening here, though. It's like this. Okay, so forgot something here, but this is very strange because extra faces there. No, this is a continuation, right? So actually this is something that was just lost in the forgotten. So let's try to I don't remember where I was at. I think it was the bottom part. Okay, so we can for now assess this by just joining here, and then here no more joining, right? So this is a problem. I don't want to mess with the thief right now, so let's instead merge this and let's keep going on that direction, even though it might be better to make a subdivision right in the center, right? But let's leave it for later. So now apparently here I will have to do this. Here we dissolve, and here we need to do with that. And so here would be our first subdivision extra, and I very much dislike the place it appears to be. I don't think we have much choice. Those things are very aggressive into here. Another solution. Oh, there's lacking. Okay, so let's see what is the. This goes inside, this goes front, this goes sideways. Okay, so let's add to here. That's it. So you have more possibilities of this shape here for the thieves. Alright, so I see what this will be the symmetry stuff that we're gonna do. So we'll bring this here, we then get this here, reshaping a bit the thief. This is not a big deal. Actually, what I'm doing here, this is not good. I want subdivision going here, but this starts becoming here. Okay, so this is one already. So here, second. Now this, yeah, I forgot this. So this goes here, and there we go. Dissolve. So created a subdivision from here. Now let's do another here. And so we have two, and I could take advantage of the fact what happened to the thief here. This is horrible. Messed up with the never mind, let's leave it like that. So I've created two subdivisions, one from the first square, then one for the other square, right? And oh, it was here. Yeah, when I moved those vertices there. Okay, without the sliding stuff. There's still the possibility of making the subdivisions connect to the teeth because they are solid stuff, even though they deform as all the rest. So this is a solution that we could start from some part here. Let's see the shape of the teeth. For example, there is the incisives, or 1, 2, then so 1, 2, impossible to see here. 1, 2, 3. This will be a cannon, so that could work. So at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So between the 4 and the 5. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 5th phase, we could start to make that mesh topology. The 5th. So we do this, and okay, there's just a trigon there. That's enough. No need to make another trigon, because then this continues. Alright, so I hope this works, and then we see if we can use this for something also in terms of, but probably not. It will help as an indicator though. Okay, it was the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, the 5th already made this. Now the other side. Yes, let's go back there, and so we can start to take advantage of that. So we made one here, and we made another here, and that's the starting conditions. So connect that, and now let's revise the mesh topology that we have here. Yes, so here, instead of going there, it will go here. And no, bad subdivisions, we just gonna make this. Then we dissolve this, and then we make here going here. They're fixed. This we can reshape here. This dissolve. Then okay, this is over. The game is over for this. And now for the other factor. Okay. So oh, there's still, it didn't over, so still have this available. So here right there. Okay, then dissolve that. This will be for the next vertex, which we find here, and there are tons of vertices to will despair to get connections. So yes, so let's approach this. All this mesh here is very strange. Let's try to smooth it out. Yes, here we can try to approach that. And okay, we are getting that finally correct. And these shapes also probably, let's see. Yeah, let's get the music back here. And okay, now let's assess. This is interesting. So this is the middle, and everything is going to the middle. So what we can do now is try to perhaps yes, there's one thing that I'm curious about. This vertex, this 2, which relates to, well, they don't relate to the sides anymore. There's, okay, there's looping there, fine. I'd expect a better loop for this thing. maybe coming from there, maybe up the nose, or even from here. Yeah, this doesn't make much sense actually. This should be looping from here. Certainly something would go there, so it's not wrong. It sounds disorganized, so maybe it's not a good reference, even because there are more which seem to be more in the middle, right? So these are like not interesting. So, but they give some idea of, yeah, so you see these are ones that need retakes here. They are in that middle region, and the middle region refers to this. So here is just like, now in this side region we probably are able to make good developments here. I mean, we are probably able to get this thing here we are already in that part, so we could even make subdivision here to help solving those things, right? Alright, actually this mesh is really not helping, so let's go back on our, so just on the mouth interior here, and that's it. That's all we need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where this goes looping? Oh, okay, that doesn't loop because of the, we don't have, I forgot this counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one lacks the structure there. And it's already requiring, right? Okay, so let's get the tree, I think it's go inside, right? Inwards, not outwards. Let's check. Yes, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's inwards. Alright, and the fifth, so it will be this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go, of course, here, and go here. Then this means that this we can connect differently. So this we displace and merge here. Then here this gives this extra thing here, which we can then according to this right after the trigon, well, regular continuation, so nothing special about that, so that's it. Like, it's not going somewhere here, so just fix that. And here, of course, we can probably push that in that direction. And let's smooth some of this already. And here, why not? We can also Alright, now finally the boss. This face here is okay, there is a no, not okay, so it cannot loop, so it's like 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Oh, it's this one, but they do not match there. Yeah, it's unmatching. This should loop around here, right? So okay, we can do that. So we first do this. This means that so now 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Oh, there's thing here that could receive an extra. Okay, so makes sense why this wasn't matching. So exactly, let's push that back. And this too long thing also, it's probably bad for the some deforms, but that part is not a big deal. So okay, it was working fine. So now this probably will solve all these things inside this shape here. So it will be something like, yeah, good possibilities here. So probably we could get something like this, right? Then we start to do something like that. And so here we can also consider, yeah, we are inside the square, so what about this then? And here we can just start to, yeah, already here and here. And here, 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 and here, or even more actually. No, this can't be done, because if we do this, we don't have, well, this works too, because then, but it's a worse shape, right? But this, at least this works, right? It's one loop, two loop. No, this is a pentagon. Yeah. Alright, what about this then? No, now this becomes a triangle. So then okay, that's okay. Let's go back then to the other situation where we had this, and then not these shapes here, not this. So you have this thing, this, then you had this, and this. Actually, think accidentally I've got rid of this, so they got here, this got here, then here we go like that, simple, and here it ends up like just this. And this and this, so 5 star poles, that's right. Loop, loop, regular stuff, real good. Yeah, this is nice. Should have thought before. And this also, let's get for the color. I don't know what they could use here. About this, yeah, we can keep that, it's fine. It's good to spread them a bit more here, slightly more. We need to, of course, assess the deforms result of all that, but it's most likely to be more regular right now. Yes, it really does look much better. Okay, and this matches this, great. Here, let's see. So yeah, okay, we are okay with just this loop, right? So this will be our so what we did this time, took off the diamonds there, which was very annoying, remade the rest position for the lips and mouth if you want, and then also rearranged all that mesh topology inside regarding some face loops that were sort of chaotic, related to the diamond quad stuff, right? Many of these problems emerged because I've added a lot of mesh topology, mesh geometry here, for a good purpose, actually, for being able to have easier assessment to the deforms, more radical deforms on the lips, on the mouth. So without that amount of mesh geometry, I wouldn't be able to have satisfactory assessments in some deforms here, probably. At least not regarding the type of expression I'm trying to achieve. Okay, you see, for the kiss shape at least this is okay, but then there is this problem of approaching too much the bendy bones. I have already a solution for that, so you cannot get them too close, otherwise the bendy bones will squash, you see, too much, and this creates really strong deforms to the mesh. So This is a problem of bendy bones, but I have a solution for that. And one solution for that, of course, is how we develop the splines in certain sense. So I think this is so problematic that it is clear that I need to get rid of that. And anyways, let's make another version here, because yeah, another version too, because we are evolving a lot, developing a lot already. So I will get rid of this system here, except I'll preserve the wave painting, although we should probably change it. This middle system is not gonna be helpful anymore because I have a better idea for it. Even the shapes it is giving us is not very appreciable. It's like offensive depending on the point of view. So here we're going to it's like fuck you. So alright, the way I've made this, I'm going instead to make something that was working fine for the other approach here, that it is, I can even copy the spline because it will be easier. Let's see where it is the, okay, so lips butt, lips top, jaw, it's the, no, it's not the jaw system, is not the lips depth, is the do they have bone constraints? I think I should delete these ones. No, let's keep them for now, but I want to work in this layer. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take all these bones and move them to lips. Yeah, okay, so let's clear out this layer because I'm probably get rid of many of those bones. So mouth main, there is nothing here. Mouth master, of course, probably hidden stuff. So the jaw are very important, just as the arcade. So let's do something here. Reorganizing of hierarchy of everything. So master, what is this? This is the mechanism machine. Are we even using this? I think this is old. After I made this, copy rotation, jaw down. What? I believe this is being used by target for this. Control jaw down. Now mechanism chin. This is, I think it's an old system. Yeah, I think this is useless. So yeah, it was for an old system. So this still works. And we have another. So instead of mouth master, let's call it jaw rig. So we are going to send those things to the first. Mouth main is empty, there's nothing here. Lips, this is old lips, so we're going to send this to arcade, which is no, it is not empty, but arcade is just okay. No. Okay, pick this and send this to this layer, which is empty and has its oh, I have a selection here. I hate that. It's invisible bones. They were selected, so they moved to the unwanted layer. Alright, so lips, move to here, and this is old lips. So now this arcade, okay, arcade is fundamental, it goes to here. So yeah, name can be the same. Move to second layer, arcades, jaws, because it's like so what does that mean is this is the mechanism system for the jaw, and the top jaw, actually the top arcade, but these are control bones for these two. For the another system, these are wrongly placed. You see, I made it again, I did it again. So annoying, this thing, because when the bones are hidden on a bone layer, if they were selected, you cannot just unselect them. So for example, if I go here or here, I cannot unselect. Then if I move stuff here, see, here they are, they were selected since the start. So this is extremely dangerous for organizations. So, okay, so always unselect the bones before manipulating, leaving a bone layer, right? Okay, so now I'm certain that they only appear here. Arcade has got nothing, so let's delete that. Lips def. This is not lips def. Okay, so these are the form bones for the lips. So this will be old lips actually. So we're gonna pick this and move to old lips. We're gonna reuse this later. At least their vertex groups, right? So currently here everything seems to be correct. No hidden bones there. My keyboard A key is a bit crazy. Lips, there's nothing here. Arcades, jaw, yes, jaw, arcades. No, jaws. It's a cartoon character. It has an up jaw and a bottom jaw, and these move the top and bottom arcades, which are there in a not so random place, because they are, well, they were sort of aligned to the mesh, but don't look like so. So I'll fix that later, or not. Let's assess this arcades, right? The position is not really important, because so this is jaw up. Oh, okay, they were trying to match that the beginning of the teeth arcades, but really they could be anywhere, because I assume, because they are, anyways, they are. So let's just make them in some way that may be more interesting at this moment. So okay, so exactly inside the, no, I want them to be behind. So okay, there's another possibility. So there's, this is the upper jaw. I could put this at the end of the upper jaw, right? So, but they would stack with other controls, so this could be annoying, but maybe that's the way to go, right? So let's try that. So here, this is the down part, okay, jaw down. So yeah, I cannot snap those bones there. all at once, or maybe can I? I'm not sure. So the cursor is there, right? Snap to I think I can with a okay, bounding box, and let's hope this works. Selection to cursor, no. Selection to cursor offset, no. Well, it did, but it not. Selection to active, no. This one is easier, so let's pick this. Maybe selection to, okay, so selection to cursor, no. Selection to active, no. Selection to, oh, I have a, okay, selection to cursor, no. Selection to active, no. Selection to cursor keep offset, no. So there is another way, there's some snapping to, perhaps I can snap to the, forgot this selection, maybe I can snap here. Okay, that worked finally. So I knew there would be, okay, it's perfectly aligned. That's it, and it didn't tilt, and so great. Now we do the same, we snap this contraption to this, and so I also want to pick this and this, actually arcade down, and scale them. Okay, no snapping, scale individual. Let's scale them a lot so they don't get lost. Actually, this was a terrible idea because positions matter, unless actually is that set inverse thing for the child of? Apparently yes, so nobody panic. It's a child of bond constraint things, but does it still works? Okay, working more like expected. Okay, it's working. Let's see the jaw here. Yeah, upper jaw, we're not supposed to move that a lot like that. Can reset this, and then they can move independently. Yes, they can, but there's not supposed. Although I think this is often useful for. Yeah, I've seen this chewing thing. Interesting. Oh, the jaw is fixed in place. Maybe I need to investigate ways to tilt that just because of this. Yeah, so maybe I've did something there in the rig that will limit this possibility. Another very cool trick, so for mount rig, so I'll have to reassess how this thing works. And the problem is that this bones has some sort of symmetry, right? So let's see, it has a limit location. Okay, no, the bone doesn't deform, so we can do this actually. So I just have to turn this off, switch this off, and then maybe I don't need that. So what happens that now if I pick this and this, yeah, we can do all sorts of crazy stuff, but it's not. Yeah, we need to have this thing working in sync, right? And so perhaps the pivot point of this is interesting. Anyways, yes. What matters now is that we're still discovering possibilities and creating some stuff that can be useful, adapting. There are many things that I might have to take off after I found that, well, this is not exactly how it works, or oh, this is redundant and all that. So this is sort of still experimental rigging, right? That's why it takes a lot of time, but the cool part is that there are a lot of techniques and methods involved that work, but may not work ideally for what is working here, for what we are developing here. And okay, and then for the old lips, yes, so let's see this rolling. So you see we can get at least for the top lip here. No, they're still bad deforms. We need to reassess the wave painting, right? So we can get some better. This is nearly a kiss shape, so you see that the concept of this idea of having a rest position with half kiss shape for the lips is not that bad. The problem is, can I unmake it? There's another problem, right? So maybe it's not that simple to unmake that shape. With just regular armature. Well, it's not regular armature deforms, there are a lot of stuff, right? So yes, we are having trouble with unmaking the half. So like smoothing out that, right? I know there's an object modifier that can help smoothing. What I could do perhaps is make the slightly less shape that way. If I had a bone that could make this particular shape on the top lip and even in the bottom lip, this could be interesting. Okay, so far certain things are working, some things are not very relevant. Let's reset pose. I want to assess new thing here. Wave painting, right? No, the bones of the lips, that's right. So I have the option to retake them from this. So just copy this system here, duplicate, yes. Okay, let's do that. So duplicate that, and I move this to here. Then we need to change the name of these bones, so it's from left to right, the orientation. This will be the top. So okay, first lip up, right? I don't want to confuse the names, so because of that I have two choices. Yeah, let's start giving this other name. So we'll change all this to instead of arcade up, it will be lips up instead of lip up, so that will do everything. Alright, then we need to assess the parenting. Okay, the parenting is fine. It is strange how this occurs. It's because this is symmetric to this, but this is not symmetric to this. And we can have here this and this, and I've seen something wrong there, that this is 01, 02, this should be 01 and this 02, because I've duplicated but then I've changed the name. This is arcade down, this is arcade up. The reason I'm using up and down instead of top and bottom is because up and down is not conventional for symmetrization, so don't want the Blender, just in case, to get any confusion. It's different for left and right. These are conventional. Up and down are not conventional, so it's safe to use because I'm not using a Z symmetry here, planar symmetry from up and down in this rig. Okay, so let's see here. Wrong layer. This is the layer I'm working in. First, we are going to reassess these transforms, right? This the length of this bendy bone. So this would be right for this. So it's just bones for the upper lip. Before even we've placed this stuff inside the lips to try out some experimental things, and I think we'll attempt this again because we are dealing with bendy bones and maybe this can be relevant. So we are going to try to place this inside the lips, so it will be somewhere like here. And yes, they are exactly in the center, so this is a symmetric bone stuff. And we will take the wave painting from, why do they have, okay, more things wrong, you see, because this doesn't need this, and this doesn't need this, this doesn't need this. This is okay to have 01, 02. Okay, then layer, probably same problem here as I duplicate for the down. So this, yeah, here, here, here is fine. This is okay, this is okay, everything there is okay, that's fine. So hiding that, after fixing these little details, I want this bendy bone to be very short, so that even less than that, so that means that this is the starting rest position for this mesh. I won't have to deal with pushing this, getting this bone closer one to each other. Maybe this will pose problem for stretching, but at least for squashing I don't need to squash. And so let's try this. Actually, let's first try with a more regular thing, right? Let's try that, right? If it works fine, we don't have to do anything. Then for the top lip, there's a problem, is that I don't have a vertex group for exactly that region, centered region. Let's see what I'm doing is that. Okay, old lips, so indeed I don't have, so now I probably don't need this system. I would like to use this wave painting here, but we are going to make it different, right? We probably could use this, reuse these waves at some point. Oh, these waves are a bit wrong also, but at least for the lips. No, these are messed up, so maybe we should remake, so yeah. There's no point in correcting this, I guess. We start from scratch. Even this, I'm a bit concerned. Should I? Let's reuse, okay? Let's reuse. It will be okay. And so, what I cannot reuse though is that since that bone is the bendy bone, seems to have disappeared here. Oh no, it's the stretch to bone constraint. So let's just reset here. There we go. There's no wave painting in it, so everything else is set up, so it's just a duplicate, so that's great. So the question is that stretching gonna destroy the mesh, and would we even require this stretching, right? We could create some sort of limit location to avoid this happening. So this is a problem with certain... I never had this kind of problems the first time I visualized this particular thing. So let's... Actually I had, but not as clear as it is now. So here we go, wave paint the mouth, right? The mouth region, even the mouth interior, we need some reassessments here of... Okay, we should hide all that maybe. Wait. Oh, there's new mesh there, so... Okay, no problem. Select here, and then mouth interior, assign, select hide, there we go, and mouth interior top. Also seems to have issues there, but seems regular, so just same thing, right? Except that we'll have to perhaps not include this face, so let's do assign, and the wave painting is... no, it's just hiding, that's fine. So, sorry, here, so select, hide, then we get to lock this, let's see that one, select, hide, and there we go, we still have to include that. Good. Assign, hide, and I hope that's it. So currently we don't need, well, the first thing I should do is solve this, the wrong waves for the bendy bones. Yeah, the old stuff, if we intend to use, so let's fix this immediately. So it just requires that we yeah, it's very chaotic. So there's the lips, and whatever is not the lips we can delete, right? That's right. Okay, let's select the lips mesh. Then we will go here, the bone. Let's go on here. Let's protect. Okay, we don't touch that, but then we control invert, and let's here. Yeah, as I lose some waves here, unless I expand this selection here. And yeah, a bit time consuming, but okay, and the interior is chaotic, so we go there, cleaned. Then we go on the other one, other bone, and do the same thing. Are there more waves there? No, so Shift K also. There we go. Okay, then we don't need this selection. We can go back here, go back here. Now I wanted the lips, right? So we just want the lips, and here we this is where oh, this is a vertex that I created just for the rest position development. So we can have, okay, this is the only section I have. So I have the other bendy bone here. No, not that. So let's name this lips. So here we want to just, okay, so you can have a selection here. So we're gonna expand this something. Looks good, yeah, just this. Then we take the bone, there's no vertex group yet, so we just add with P, and we are going to Shift K on a, not on a 0, but see already effects, Shift K on total, and then we can make a quick trick here. Take this face loop. Sometimes this is, and then this is the selection. Sometimes this might be faster and lesser annoying, because you have to loop all around the mesh. It's annoying. So okay, here this should work for this bone. We can immediately assess now with mirror modifier, right? What's happening here? This is it's in double side, so why it is... Okay, so this will be a problem actually, because it's affecting this spline. Okay, the problem stretch and squashing is the same problem as we've seen before. Okay, we see that at least this is not a big issue if you want to approach. It's just if you want to get too much, so this is not a problem. The problem, however, is that we see that as we stretch, the other part also stretch, so this is not necessarily good, but maybe this is also happening because I'm lacking a bond here. Where's the... This structure had another main bond that I think I missed, so this wasn't copied, so yeah, it wasn't. So let's just duplicate this and move this to layer 3, hide the rest. We going to select everything, yeah, move it to that position, whatever. Yeah, let's just get somewhere like here so it doesn't... Alright, so then the name of this bone doesn't need to be that. This one at least doesn't need to be. It will be main leaps up, then does it has any child offset? No, this is nothing of this is inverse in this copy, and child of... oh, this is old stuff, this is offset parenting, this is okay. So this is... it could just change the target though, I'm not sure. Yes, I could use just a copy trans... yeah, this is old, this is not required. Okay, so let's just use a copy transform, should do. Local space, local space. Yeah, and then add before regional, and I think that's just it's the same thing. Let's just duplicate here. So okay, as we get them, the mesh there is okay, so we can use this as a block, right? So you don't necessarily need to move the splines, and by not moving and by not augmenting the distance, at least between the bendy bone, we can get sort of a regular deform here, and maybe this is better for a lot of things. So, and we still have this control, alright. The rolling, however, has no preserve volume stuff, so maybe we should copy the driver for that. We can of course adjust some stuff, but Okay, let's just copy driver. It needs maintain volume. Let's get the method here. Basically, it's I cannot copy that thing. Yeah, I'll have to just to get the driver. Something about the driver, right? So X rotation of the lip, okay, and local space. So local space. Oh, I can. What I'm doing? Just copy driver, right? Copy driver. Paste driver. Edit. Just change the target bone here. X rotation, local space. That should do the. So let's see. It doesn't seem to be changing. So this is probably not the X rotation of this bone. So no, wrong bone actually. Okay, we see that the bone is adding, and here however, and also it is adding, so it is working. We can change the ratio, but it's working, so that's good enough. Then with this thing, okay, so it's not imperative that this we need to change this thing, so this will be very subtle stuff. These roles are not actually, we don't need these ones, right? This is like just excessive stuff, right? Excessive bones, but let's keep it like that for now, for organization, for pattern. Then this will be like tweaked bones, I think. I've seen in a tutorial recently. And alright, so the idea of this is just the question, should we need a spline for just this, right? So what I see is that symmetrical splines in the middle of the mesh is very complicated, whatever we do. This is what I have been seeing, even when we try to get that single one. So we're not supposed to do this, it's just we're mostly only supposed to use these to, yeah, it's not clear how we should use this spline, right? So maybe it's a useless bendy bone here, actually, right? Could be regular stuff. The other way, if we look at the original, so let's like turn this off as a deformed bone so it won't interfere with the other rig. This is interesting stuff to consider, right? This is, now we can make those tests, right? So here with this other contraption it seems much easier to, well, because this is part of, there's a spline here, this seems much more dynamical, right, to work with, even though we still have the problem of, well, actually not. This is an interesting shape that we can do crossing this stuff, right? I never tried it before, so yeah, some interpenetrations, but This because they don't match. So this is a good point about this stuff, right? uh, First time I'm able to see a good use for this thing in practice. So yes, very interesting. I should take note on this. My experience from other rigs, for the eyelids rig for example, tell that it's good to leave these corners disconnected, because we have more freedom, and the deforms work well also, even though the splines are not looping, right? And so I thought that here could be the similar case, but as we see here, the problems are others. Actually, there's no... I don't see a problem here, actually. I don't remember where I was having a problem. I think it was when I tried to... I remember, where I tried to... This was the problem, right? But we'd never do that in this rig, actually, so what we need... Maybe it's more splines. So one spline here, maybe it's not enough for getting the expressions we want. Although that was my initial approach, to have many more splines. But here we see a reason to have more splines there. You see that this would be only for that part in the middle. So there was a take, one of my first takes, second take maybe, or third take, I was having one spline in the bottom, like here we see, and two splines on the top. But the way I've organized the spline on the top lip, I don't remember exactly how it was. I'll have to load many files. So what would need ideally, I think, is a spline that is something like that, and then it continues the bottom, so we can have some possibilities of doing this without this horrid thing. And here, of course, this spline in that part, we could have some shapes thanks to this, but then we still have control over this area of the mesh. So we, you see, otherwise that will be too much stretched, and then we lose, even if I wanted to do that, we eventually will end up losing some shapes here because stretching too much. Yeah, so actually it would stretch, but we would have some way to control it, because an extra spline here. Here we see we can do it, but it doesn't seem as... Of course, because I'm pushing even the other side to this side, right? But what if we wanted, see, we lose some possibilities. So for caricatural expressions, grotesque expressions even, this is working quite well for 3D in my opinion, but still very far from the cartoon expression I want for that character. So so maybe this is being caused because this kiss shape is too exaggerated, right? And maybe we should start small with lot of how do you say, subdivisions here. If we start small, maybe we have it might be easier to stretch everything in a way, although exaggerated stretching is also complicated, you see. So it's not like we will get great results with stretching a lot, but then it comes perhaps the requirements of having a bit more splines, right? So another idea is that we don't have melt splines yet, so another layer of that would come in handy perhaps. And wave painting here is very bad, so we are far from ending the experiments. I'm starting to think that this big mouth shape is actually not that beneficial, and so here is one situation. I have very hard time making a simple closed mouth shape that would be like, yes, then there's all this stretching here from the bendy bones that is helpless, right? As soon as I try to approach the splines, yeah, it will happen in the top, it will happen in the bottom. We could only have this, and this is already the rest position, folks, so it's like, yeah, so we can only do this thing if we have enough splines. So this is theoretically very important, conceptually very important to understand. If we want, I'll write that down on my file. If you want to have in this is why mouth rigging can be so complex, right, or complicated. Depends on what we want to operate, because different from the eyes. The eyes, well, these eyes won't become small eyes like crazy, or have, yeah, they will have some shapes, but that's complicated. But then we have this mesh topology, which with good wave painting and good splines position in good place, a good control rig, eventually we get this right. But for the mouth, cartoon expression, have start out with a small mouth, then it gets crazily huge on widely variable of shape, even more than the eyes maybe. Yeah, and so spline skinning, this might be an actual limitation of spline skinning, folks. Yeah, of course, then one question is the amount of stretching that the bendy bones happen to occur to the... I've seen some idea that reducing volume variation could actually help solving some of these features, but my tests suggest it doesn't do nothing, or again it's lacking of features that I'm sorry, I would, it would be better if I had revised that. I've just seen that volume variation would change something, but it doesn't on this setup that I have here. So certainly there's something that I'm missing. Oh, let's try something like that, right? So we keep it at 0, keep it at, okay, and that disable that. Let's disable that, because maybe this is affecting. Let's also turn this differently, right? Let's see if what happens if I try to do a small mouth shape in these conditions. would be better if we use symmetry, right? So let's move them here. We see that, we see some stuff different, right? So I didn't turn off maintain volume there, of course. Might be just oh, there are some things different also. Alright, let's see. Let's turn on maintain volume. Turn off, I mean. And it's not subtle, right? So we can see already some variations. Here, this was turned on off like that. But what matters apparently is not much those things here, it's this. So if I turn this off, alright, so it is true, folks. So there is something there that can be worked from that. But the question, is this enough to compensate for all that we have to deal here? And does that volume, lack of stretchiness, volume variation, does it help actually at obtaining the shapes that we'd like to have? Okay, without the maintain volume, which was meant for another feature, right? This is the annoying thing, right? This is affecting, even though it's not exactly what I would be rolling, right? It should be driven by control leap up, right? By this rotation. This is not even rotating, and it is causing the, right? What if we kept it at 0? No, can't do that. So do you see this bone rotating? I don't see, because so this strange, very strange. This makes no sense to me. Volume, maintain volume, y-axis. Alright, I see what this means. It's like, without that, this is forcing the bendy bone to maintain the volume, and so it ruins the bendy bone's own factors, because the problem is that we cannot assess in real time what it is, its volume variation, so I cannot calculate exactly to. This means that this maintained volume thing is already affected the bendy bones from normal, and then of course if I rotate here there will be even more gain of volume for other reasons, because of the driver. So this means that this volume here, maintained volume, is too dangerous to be used in this way, and I don't see how to go around it. However, yeah, so this could ruin my rig, so this is interesting, but I think there would be a middle point in this process. So interestingly, at least I got this to work, so this means that we can have control of the stretch and squash, and so even this doesn't need to be that dramatical as I thought. So but does it fix anything actually? This just helps controlling the amount of deform. So this is actually very important, so that we can have like a degree of influence of the whole stuff, right? So that, yes, that means that we can control. So this is good learning. So we can control the volume variation from here, and then however here this will immediately have an impact. So we need to not allow that this thing keeps happening. So because this is this not allowed, maybe this is not only about volume loss, it's maybe everything. So when it gains volumes, it will iterate it to become 1, even if the driver doesn't change anything here. So perhaps I need, and this interferes with that. So what if perhaps we put it before? Aha. So okay, so this is a I've seen that before. So it was happened just a bad positioning of this bone, and then okay, we get here, as we get very close, I start a bit. Okay, so we saw, apparently we solved that, and then if I get this, then the driver changed. That's it. Whew. Yeah, finally. So let's fix this before anything. So yes, stretch to bone constraint. Always it's better to keep it like after, because if we put it before, it will often ruin the organization in real time of the stretch. So this is like, it's not higher priority. In the contrary, it means it must go after everything or most things are set, so that it can do its real-time work for bendy boneness. And I guess I have other bones here, so let's fix this for everything we can find in this rig. It's not this case. Maintain volume. Okay, this is wrong already. Let's go here, and here we can, why not, make change here already. Okay, we should test the new settings, so let's do the form. Okay, so here clearly we still have this problem, so this is a huge limitation. I thought I would solve that. This wouldn't be a problem, but it is. It actually is. Very sadly, this doesn't and even though I've made changes here, like, right, it's not, these symmetrical changes are not very good, right? Because if we just, I just want to tweak this, then we can't, because we have symmetrical deforms, and this can be, yeah, and then we see it's not very optimal. Then we want to change that's it. It's not good, folks. This is not good. It is good for the thief, just for one reason, because the thief, they are meant to be right, the arcades, they are meant in my rig to scale symmetrically like that. All my investigations before were suggesting this was the way to go, but this research indicates that no. And if there is a better way to use this contraption here, I don't know it. So let's at least I'm glad that I found it out. So let's go melt more splines, lips more splines, sorry, lips more splines, and we can say that we can save this as the, instead of how let's just, yeah, let's actually save this as, first save this also as this, but then we going to open our last one, save. We are going to rename this by lips asymmetric no more, yeah, before delete, asymmetric failure. Asymmetric fail. Alright, so that means that that idea didn't work. So if I want a backup to investigate, so this means that we should get rid of this no matter what. However, thanks to all these investigations, I was able to find out that okay, so there's still this thing in the middle, so there is not the best thing to work with, as we found out. However, the advantage is that it doesn't have that particular trouble. But we want to make a different spline here because we this is my assessment. So this is much better, and that is just a copy transform, but that makes sure copy transforms. It's not targeting. Oh, but there's parenting, right? So okay, there's no need copy transforms, I guess. Yeah, let's delete that. Shrink wrap not being used right now. We'll leave it as it is. It's outside, yes, just that's fine. Then this has also the okay, stretch to after. That's great. Stretch to after, stretch to after, stretch to after. Disconnected splines here, although there is a parenting relation which actually can be not really adequate, right? Yeah, this can get us into complications, so let's clear parent here. We don't, because sometimes, yeah, we just want to pose, we don't want to move them all together, but we can make a bone here. Yes, something like yeah, like so what's happening here, that these two bones, they don't share the, so this is a tip bone actually. Yeah, control leap up, this is, yeah, this is annoying, let's get out of that. So here leap up, the direction of these bones, they are going, yes, this, and what about this? This is also going outwards, because it's better to organize for this setting here. Alright, so these deforms are actually good, even though not in terms of the cartoony I want, but I think this is working fine. This also is a good strategy, but we need to reassess this stuff here, so I'm preferring to look at this in, yeah, so here copy transforms, I don't know what this is for. They all have the shrink wrap ready. No, not all of them. The shrink wrap would be for, yeah, this is old stuff, so just delete that and delete that, delete that. Shrink wrap, no, not gonna see this open for now. Here also delete all that. Shrink wrapping, fine. Oh, actually, I see. Alright. So I see what's going on. So we have a bone here that I just wasn't paying enough attention. So let's rise this little. So here is a tip bone indeed, and it requires to get this off, and these two. So it's here and here. So I'm gonna just get these two tip bones here so parented to this should be symmetrized. Then when I pose this, they move together. So this is the best behavior, I think. But I am also able to move them individually, but their locations here are really bad. So this is why actually making this very tiny was the best approach, so I could actually understand what's going on. So we've remade the how they are organized. We'll be changing some of these splines orientations, so let's see. Yeah, the spherical shapes maybe should be the best thing here for these ones, right? I don't usually use this, but these areas are too important perhaps, so let's use this. I think that will be the best solution here, instead of little squares or squares. I'm tired of the Yeah, the spherical don't give too much insight, but sphere, let's see. Wait, why it's not working? Oh, custom shapes disabled. Okay. Here. So sphere. There we go. But they are, yeah, all crazy here. 1, 1, 1. Of course, it's too much. Now I don't see them at all. So why is that? Are they too small or are they too big? Maybe too small, so this is too annoying, so let's 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Looks like they are not respecting this. I think I did it wrong. Yeah, must press Alt in the beginning, right? Alright, so it's as a first click, not in the enter, apparently. Alright, so this looks good. This looks good, except that here they are. Yeah, they are stacking this. How about that? But I have been looking in selecting them, and there here they are also. Okay, so for the top, we'll make the top one. No, there's left and right, so the only way perhaps would be to. Okay, so the top, there's some regularity here, so we can do this and perhaps move them up. Now this local space is too annoying. No, we need some differentiation, except maybe zero 1 15. Okay, that can do, and then for this we will bring this to the so like positive and negative. No, is actually much less. Alright, then we can also give them this size, and also let's copy these values here. Zero 0.03, there we go, except that these values we also copy here. Not working, just a visual thing, they are already that size. Okay, tweaks all this color, that's fine. This may be too far, so yeah, so this displacement is really annoying, but we rarely gonna use this, so that's it. Not rarely, maybe a lot, but that's it. We see the mesh, so that's what matters. At least one of them will stay in place. Okay, actually, I would say, I'm tempted to say, in terms of realistic rigging, this is actually quite expressive, right? More realistic rigging. It's actually very nice, even with some very simple wave painting. And then we have this stuff that, of course, is not yes, so actually this is not too bad for the kiss shape. It's not really that good either, but you see this is yeah, this is badly developed. There's some wave paint there that you certainly can achieve. I've made some stuff in the mesh there on the top that would match this kind of human feature, but this guy can be funny, right? Some expressions here are actually interesting, and of course I'm having certainly trouble with the rest position, right? The simple closed lip. So you see there's some. Okay, now of course the mesh is a bit, the splines are getting a bit too much, but as I'm testing here, I don't know, some stuff are going wrong sometimes, but it already shows it has tons of potential. I'm really impressed that I never thought realistic results, let's say for the mesh, would be that good in this attempt. I cannot say it's a first attempt, right? I made many attempts in these hours and hours of stuff, of experimentalism on this thing, but this is proof of concept, even though not with widely expressions. This is a proof of concept that spline skinning for mouth rig is really, it's impressive, right? If you do not consider that it's not exactly my goal, that that all right, so that's it, folks. We've reached some interesting conditions here, and we have way more work to do on this thing, but we are making huge progress, and now very complex shapes for the mouth are plausible. They seem to be, so it seems that we are maybe are not in the good direction for the cartoonist things, but at least regarding facial rigging in general, this is proving quite generous, right? Okay, did we fix that? Yeah, probably did. Yeah, there's maintain volume stuff before the stretchable control. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching. I think today that's it. Maybe unless I have some energy later on, I'll be doing something else, because this is a bit tiresome and repetitive, but we are progressing. So next time I will be willing to address on, I mean tomorrow probably, the lips wave painting inside the mouth in this behind the lips region that is was lost, and also a lot here. And then I want to add perhaps mouth bones splines for the exterior. Then we're gonna test if this will work, this mesh topology. If it works, we'll keep it. If it not, we'll probably make more loops all around here, and I think that will be for tomorrow. So if that succeeds, then it will be great. One of the more step forwards in this rig, because when we are able to move to pose the mouth in good shapes, the lips in as far like that, or there are other possibilities like moving the mouth as a whole. Like we can't do this, we need more wave painting here. But yeah, this is something I haven't tried before. Yes, we need a main bone to do that. So as we are able to do this stuff, making the mouth move more to the left and right, then we are approaching the cartoonist thing, and then the shapes will become more and more important. Right on the mouth in the middle, it doesn't, yeah, if we can prove that we make cool expressions there, cartoony, then okay, then probably we can bring that. But then we have to introduce the mesh topology and the mesh geometry all around, and this is another problem, because wave painting might not allow so much transforms on the regular deforms on the mesh with all that displacement. But it might be, yeah, so this is a problem we need to investigate further. So we need to have the possibility of moving the mouth regularly on these other areas of the face to be able to move further. And then once we have solved this mesh stuff and deform stuff, assuming we can solve it, I think we can, totally can, we will do probably a reassessment of the lips rig to have the ideal splines for what we want, right? So I'm already constructing the new idea for that. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching, and happy blending, and take care. See you soon, folks.